All right, here we are back with another Big City Soundoff live. We go live. There's no pre-recorded stuff. Live right to it. Tonight we got Ledwin. Um, Welcome, Ledwin. If you haven't
Thank
heard of
you.
Ledwin, I strongly suggest you check out a show of theirs, or wait long enough for a EP to come out here. So, um, I've seen Ledwin twice now. I was involved in one of their shows, and yeah, fantastic band. So why don't you guys just start it off and tell everyone about Ledwin?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Hi, I'm Eric. I play bass. Um,
I'm Zen. I'm lead guitar, lead vocals.
I'm Brandon. I am mostly rhythm guitar, but sometimes some lead stuff.
I'm Thorin. I play the drums.
we've been together for about 2 years now. Here, we this is really all of us. It's our first crack at doing the music thing and making our way into the music scene in Winnipeg. So it's been one big learning experience, that's for sure. But we sure have been having a lot of fun. We started just playing cover tunes around, getting into whatever bars we could, and now we're writing our own stuff. We've had our own stuff for a little while now, but we're getting into the nitty gritty with recording right now. We're actively working on our EP, hoping to have everything recorded by the end of the year. But any type of release is still very much up in the air.
Awesome. Well, at least you got. Sorry, I lost my volume there. At least you got your foot in the ground with the recording stuff. Let's just jump right to that. How's recording going?
It's going great. Like last night, we were at Thorne's place with Dale recording scratch tracks for everything. We're doing all the drums this coming Sunday, and then just like bit by bit, piece by piece, chipping away at it, and super excited to get the ball rolling with everything.
Awesome. So Dale's over. So Dale McIntyre. So
Yeah.
I'm assuming Dale McIntyre and Luke Clement have their hands on this one.
Just Dale.
Oh, just
Yeah.
Dale.
Yeah, we've been involved with Dale for a little while now,
Mhm.
and we've had this project lined up with him for quite some time now. So we're very stoked to work with him. I met Luke first. Didn't meet Luke until maybe like 5 or 6 months ago or so. But Luke's a great guy. I see him commenting there. Hi,
Yeah, I
Luke.
just saw that too.
Yeah. Love working with him. Love playing with him. He's an awesome guy. But Dale's this one is Dale entirely, and Dale's a great producer as well as Luke.
Excellent. So just to rewind a little bit. How did you ever come up with the name Ledwin?
Well, that is where I lived. So, like, right in between Harburg and Riverton area is like the municipality of Ledwin. There used to be like a general store, and like it was like a little town, but now it's just like general little area. Like, so our original name was Whiplash, as overused and cheese as that is. So, with the help of my mom, actually, in brainstorming, we figured, hey, there's a Chicago, there's a Europe. Why can't there be a Ledwin? So it kind of just stuck. Added an extra D, put some dots above the E, and we're chilling with it.
Awesome. I would have never guessed. I thought this was going to be some big elaborate story on it. Didn't know it was just a municipality. That's awesome.
Yeah, just good old hometown. And we started practicing in Ledwin too. So yeah,
that's cool.
A little fun fact for you: we are the second band to come out of Ledwin. The first one being the Ledwin Big Band, which came out about 100 years ago. So
Cool.
yeah, so we didn't do it first. We did not do it first.
Excellent. So how about gigs? You guys just played the Riverside a few weeks ago.
Yeah, played the Riverside a couple weeks ago now. We love it there. They're great there. They treat us well. They have a great little bar there. We love it. We're actually going back home to Gimli at the end of this month, November 30th. And then we have one more show after that. Before 2025, we are going to be playing December 28th at the King's Head. So doing covers all night. And might I say that King's Head is a great room to play. We had
Yeah,
so much
wow.
fun there the last time.
Oh
We
yeah,
can't wait to do it again.
yeah, easily a favorite of mine personally. I think a few of us can also agree.
Yeah, I think we're all on that page. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Brandon got we got a video on our Instagram, a little recap of it, and you can see these bachelorette party people put like tiger ears on Brandon mid playing. It was killer. It was so funny.
I'm telling you, Joel, the chicks dig Brandon. They're all over him.
You know what? So I've seen you guys play twice, and Brandon, you got the shades on. You got the Les Paul and the Marshall combination going on there.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, so it's a good look. It's a good look.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people do say that. So
Yeah. Awesome. Any other gigs? You got the 28th at King's Head. Oh, wait, I know what I was going to say. I was going to say to you, your live show, what really stood out to me is, obviously I haven't seen you do 3 sets, but the shows that I've seen you play, your covers are songs that aren't really being done. It's some that really stood out. You know, you go around and you hear bands playing certain songs, you know, Killers, Green Day, just, you know, you just hear your top 40, you know, your hits and stuff, but you guys are playing songs that were hits, but I'm pretty sure I've heard you play Tool, Sober, Wood from Alice in Chains, No One Knows, Queens of the Stone Age. So not songs you hear a lot. I think that's what really stood out to me is, you know, you're some young guys up there and you're playing some songs that just no one's doing. And that's what makes it another reason why it's such a great show to see you guys.
I got one thing I want to say about this actually, and then I'll let one of the other guys take over. I'd say our biggest qualifier is if you can move to it. It's a song that we want to play, and so we have quite the range of the cover tunes that we play. I think the last time we played the King's Head, we had Metallica in the first set, and by the third set, we had Taylor Swift. So if you can dance to it, or if you can, you know, headbang or bop along, whatever, I think that is the major qualifier for the songs that we choose to cover.
Awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I've just kind of played enough cover shows at this point now where it's like you figure out what people like, what works, what the like natural progression of songs, and I think we have a really good time doing the cover thing.
Awesome. How so, you know, you guys are pretty young guys. I don't know exactly your age, but I know you're young. When did you guys start playing like your respective instruments?
We'll start with Eric here.
Oh yeah, for me, I was a guitar player first. I picked up the guitar when I was about 10. 10-year-old Eric didn't have much patience, put it back down, picked it back up again. I think I was probably about 13. And then just kind of was a bedroom guitar player forever. Learned how to play bass in jazz in high school. So I actually learned how to play the upright bass before I ever touched an electric bass. And then when we kind of got going, Zen and I met because we have the same guitar teacher. Brandon has the same guitar teacher as well. But Zen and I met, like we kind of like knew who each other were, but we hadn't really met. Then we met, and Zen wanted to kind of start doing something, and so from there I picked up electric bass and started playing it more and more regularly, and it's turned out to be a pretty good little gig. And bass players are in demand. I know. Yeah. I was on here with Peer Entry too, hey. So
yeah,
I found more work than I was looking for quite quickly.
Eric's this is his 3rd time on here.
Yeah. I love it every time.
Zen, you're 2nd as well.
Second time, yeah. Yeah, I guess I'll take the mic here. So I started playing guitar when I was 12, first time, similar to Eric. No patience, drop it quick. Then when I was 14, started getting into all kinds of rock music and everything, coming out of a heavy rap phase, which I'm not too fond of these days. But came out of that, started playing guitar again, played for, I guess, a couple years until I met Eric. And like he said, we had the same guitar teacher. So played by myself for a while, started lessons with Mike. And then yeah, started the band. So it's been about 5 years now that I've been playing. It's crazy. That sounds crazy to me. I don't know. But yeah, I just love it. It's good stuff.
Awesome. Yourself, Brandon?
So I started playing guitar right at grade 9, so that would have been 2017. I was about 15. They had this guitar program at our high school, so that's just pretty much how I learned how I did it. And I took it through all the way from 9 to 12, and it was just mostly just for hobby, just a I don't know, interesting, fun class to try out. And then probably a year after graduation, Eric messages me about wanting to be in a band or something. So I was like, sure, why not? I'll give it a shot, and here we are.
Awesome. Thorin's kicking his cat out of the room, I think.
Oh yeah. He kept jumping on the keyboard. I didn't want him to like exit out of the podcast here on accident. Yeah, I mean, I'm coming on like about 11 years of playing drums. I picked up guitar for maybe 2 weeks, I'd say, until I got very impatient and then stopped. And then I think after not playing, I think after I stopped playing guitar after that 2 weeks, I think it was like probably a good maybe 3 years until I got asked to play jazz band in grade 7, I believe. And then what's it called? Ever since then, I've just been kind of, I guess, on a incline of just playing pretty much jazz. And then I get home and I think it was Slipknot that I started playing to. I think first song I learned on the drums was For Whom the Bell Tolls by Metallica.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second one I believe was Psychosocial by Slipknot.
Oh, cool.
And those two songs I kind of went back and forth on for a while. And then a buddy of mine named Jack, he asked if I wanted he's like, hey, you play drums? I was like, yeah, I dabble a little. And he had asked if I wanted to just jam at one point. And he's like, yeah, sure. And he came over to my house with his guitar, played a little bit. And then I'd say about a year in, we formed a high school band called Rolling Thunder. And it was very on and off with members. We had like, our main core was pretty much like Jack, a buddy of mine named Logan, and another friend named Evan. And the three of us kind of went back, stuck together for the entirety of the band's existence. And then we had I think 3 vocalists with us throughout those 4 years of us being together. And didn't really do much with it. We just played covers, played maybe 1 show a year. And then after that, after high school, I kind of had like a big hiatus where I was just like, I wasn't doing anything with anyone. I was just playing by myself for probably, I want to say 5 years, I'd say. Yeah, maybe about 5-6 years. And then finally Eric asked me last year sometime in May, I think it was, if I wanted to join their band. I guess their drummer had left at that about 2 weeks before.
Yeah, like 2 weeks before a gig.
Yeah.
Before we even played our first show.
Yeah.
Holy.
And I was like, yeah, I'll fuck it, why not? I haven't played in a band for like 6 years. Might as well give it a go here. And here I am with the boys in Leadwin here.
Awesome. I have to apologize to you guys. Apparently it says Joe Carson on the screen right now.
Joe Carson.
It says Joe Carson. Yeah, he was the last guest I had, and the program I use, it has changed on me since I used it last, so I'm kind of learning again here. But apparently, I just got a text and it says Joe Carson on there, so I've figured out how to change that. But anyway,
we can be Joe Carson tonight.
You can be Joe Carson tonight. Did you watch the Joe Carson episode?
I wasn't able to. No.
Oh, okay. Is a good one. It's a good one. He was riding high on some Jets wins, and
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's a good episode. So, um, so Brandon, I'm gonna kind of flip it over to you because you got some Les Pauls on the wall, and you got a white one. I got a white one, and I quite like it. Why the Les Paul?
I don't know. I mean, I think it might have something to do with because I'm a big fan of Kiss, and they usually play Les Pauls, and I don't know. I just kind of like the look of the like the old style electric guitar body, and I don't know. Is it when I went and test played it the first one for myself? I don't know. I just really liked the sound of it, and I just kind of just stuck with it. It just felt comfortable and just I don't know, very versatile guitar in general.
Oh yeah.
I want to add that Brandon needs zero effects on his guitar. He can run that Les Paul straight into his Marshall amp, and he just lets it sing. He needs nothing else.
I was gonna say that's another thing too. Is sometimes, and I'm sure you guys are the same. You go and see a live show, and some people are taken back by the show itself, but for myself, I'm kind of focused in on what everyone's doing and tones and stuff like that. And that one thing that actually stood out with both guitars, with Zen and Brandon, is you guys got great tone, phenomenal playing. It's just phenomenal play. And just kind of talking about how long you guys have been playing, it's like you're both very talented for not playing for a long time, right?
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Joel. Yeah, no, I can totally get behind like nerding out about gear at every show and everything. Like I think every time I ever see a live band, I go and nerd out about pedal boards before and between every set.
Yeah, Joel, you were saying you don't know how old exactly we are. I'll give you an idea here. Zen is our youngest. He's 19, and Thorin is our oldest at 24.
It's crazy. It's crazy. What's
Zen, I think you should tell him the story about your amp there.
My amp, yeah. So I play a Mesa Boogie Mark I that was owned by David Bowie on the Tin Machine tour. So my dad got it off of like Facebook Marketplace or whatever, Kijiji, I don't know. And like they marketed it as such, and he's like, okay, well, how do you verify this? So he actually reached out to Yves Gabriel, the guitar player, and Yves told him that, hey, take the whole amp take the chassis out of the case that's in, and then flip it over. There should be a little piece of tape that has numbers on it, and those numbers correspond to how long the tubes were burned before the amp was able to play on stage. And tape was there, so like he knows best. So it's pretty cool. I lug that thing around every gig. It sounds so good too. I love that amp.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's insane. Is Bowie an influence of yours?
Not at all. Like not in the slightest. Like, I appreciate Bowie, guy like, mad stage presence, but like I don't know, couldn't name more than like 3 songs.
Crazy. Well, that's a heck of a story, though.
Yeah.
What about the other guys? Actually, and yourself, then too. Who are some influences of yours?
I'll go first. I guess I'm on the heavier aspect of the four of us here. A lot of my stuff goes from like obviously when I first start out, it's the usual like metal for like say like Metallica, or maybe even getting a little heavier into like Pantera and Slipknot and whatnot. But later into the years, I started going a little bit down into the rabbit hole for any of that kind of for however as heavy it goes. I got more into like Cannibal Corpse and getting more into like the more deathcore scene of stuff like that, and any of that super heavy stuff. Because at the time when I first started, I couldn't stand hearing screaming. I couldn't stand it when I first started playing drums, believe it or not. And now that's all I listen to now. Is just like the heaviest of heavy. It's like I'm now listening to a lot of a band called Whitechapel right now.
Yeah,
and they get pretty gnarly with some of their vocals, and like Lorna Shore and like Gojira, Meshuggah, those kind of I'm kind of into that area now of just like super heavy and super I guess you could say angry sounding sounding stuff. But that's pretty much my influence, is just like as long as it grooves too. Like it can't be just straight heavy and just pure sound. There's got to be some kind of groove in there that I can at least get behind. If it's just a straight wall of sound at you, sometimes I'll get turned off by it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that'd be my influence there.
I'd venture to say I'm probably the second heaviest. I don't know. Like I think Thorn actually has gotten me into a lot more metal than I would normally listen to before I started playing with these guys. But yeah, like originally I grew up listening to a lot of Grateful Dead. Like my dad's a huge Deadhead, and then that progressed to like I got big into the '90s stuff. Like I was big into Soundgarden, Alice in Chains, and Pearl Jam, all that kind of stuff. Like same with like Metallica, like just that chunky sound. But like the number one thing for me, like I love heavy instrumentals, but yeah, some of those like real heavy vocals start to turn me off a bit. As far as like influences for why I want to play in bands and like what I want to write songs, like I'd say like Alice in Chains, Tool, throw some like Led Zeppelin in there or something. Just like it's like badass sound and stuff. That's kind of my main influence.
I guess for me, like it's mostly like the 80s and 90s rock kind of stuff. Like growing up, like I listened to like Kiss and AC/DC, like you know, or like even like some of the dad rock stuff. Like I don't know, just anything that like just like, you know, sounds nice to me. I'm just like, hey, I'll try to learn that. That's pretty much about it.
Yeah.
For me, I find questions like this really hard to answer, because I feel like my taste in music has evolved and changed so many different times. I'd say my parents raised me on like 80s rock and roll, and I still absolutely love that music. But in terms of music that kind of shapes how I play, I think, yeah, still some 80s, but I think more towards like Stone Temple Pilots, who have some very, very, very underrated bass lines. You don't realize how hard they groove until you actually go and intentionally listen to them. Or I've been in love with Pearl Jam for a while. They're definitely one of my favorite bands and somewhere where I draw influence from. And one band I want to mention, a modern band actually. I don't even think these guys really know them. Highly Suspect. Been listening to them up and down. New album came out. It's fantastic. I think they're doing a lot of really cool and innovative stuff as a active modern band.
Awesome. And I know you like Paramore.
Oh, I love Paramore.
And the Cranberries. We had a good talk about the Cranberries, actually.
Oh, we did.
At the Albert, wherever that place was. Was it Albert?
Yeah, we're at the Albert there. My mom had a Cranberries CD that she had listened to in the car, and so that's where my exposure to it comes from. But yeah, I'm a sucker for bands like that, like Paramore and the Cranberries.
Yeah, Hayley Williams in general, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, hell yeah.
No, go ahead.
I just said Chicks Got Pipes. Like, honestly, like there's a lot of bands that make the female vocalist thing work. Like you think like Fleetwood Mac, stuff like that. But like it's easily the most iconic female voice, Hayley Williams. Like it's just yeah, it's huge.
Yeah. I think she's definitely one of the strongest female vocalists that's active right now.
Yeah, undoubtedly.
Yeah, especially I've seen a couple heavier bands with female fronted heavy bands, and some of them on the album is one thing, but seeing them live, they just can't pull it off, right? But Hayley Williams, she almost sounds better live than on the album. And not to take anything from the album, it's just phenomenal,
Absolutely.
Right? Just yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, Paramore is also a band that has that they started when they were like 16, 17, right? So
yeah, exactly.
So
right.
you really grow into your voice in your 20s and 30s.
Yeah, exactly. I wish I did. I see Alex is teeing off there. Freebird kiss. Pretty sure it's Alex.
Oh, that's definitely Alex.
Yeah. So obviously Peg City Soundoff. Eric, you've been on here 3 times now. I like focusing on Winnipeg, and then I tried to kind of branch off, and then I just get roped into Winnipeg again. So just talking about local bands, obviously, I've seen you at some shows out there. The rest of you guys, is there any local bands you're into besides Pure Entry?
We'll give a big shout to our boys, Northern Royals.
We love Northern Royals.
I have a pretty intimate connection into Royals. So my uncle Cole was an original member of the band when they were called the Autopilots way back in the day. And actually, like, those guys have been such a big help for me and for all of us, like, just being able to book stuff in Winnipeg and just being supportive, because actually the day that I met Eric, Cody came out. I was playing a gig just like in a festival, and he came out, supported, and then I ended up sneaking into the bar and playing with them for an hour or so. It was a good time.
Awesome.
I'd say probably there's a band that I don't know if they're even together anymore right now. They're called Third Ion. They were a trio with very Tool-like play styles. Very, very technical, very very, very interesting music. Like, just to listen to, like, it definitely a lot. I guess inspiration from Tool, especially in the singing style. Their singer would sing a lot like Maynard, and I think my first time hearing them was from their drummer, he's a music teacher on Drumeo, and he was playing one of his songs on his Instagram live, I believe it was, and I was like, this stuff fucking hits. It sounds really good, and gave it a little bit more of a listen, and they have a few good songs there. They have an instrumental called Van Halen, and it's like it's a bit of a joke at their one song, Hot for Teacher, but they almost took that same kind of groove, that same kind of drum groove from Hot for Teacher, and turned it into like this technical like monster, just like Frankenstein of like weird grooves. And but yeah, they've been pretty nice, and I'd say not really local, but someone from the area. Joey Dandino from Theory of a Dead Man. He I know some of his family there, so we sometimes have we've talked a few times with the just about random stuff, but he comes out every now and then. He'll be at a couple of Jets games here and there, and yeah, he's a pretty chill guy as well.
Cool. They're I think they're doing an acoustic show at the Club Regent. Theory of a Dead Man.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Soren, I remember you showing me those Third Ion guys. I didn't realize they were from Winnipeg.
Oh yeah, they're from here. Yeah, they I sometimes catch their drummer. He used to shop at the Wall Street Long McQuaid, Aaron Edgar. He used to be there every now and then. What's it called? A buddy of mine that used to manage that Long McQuaid there, he helped build the drum room for Aaron Edgar, and that thing is insane. It's got this massive like 20-foot wall of just snares, and it's everything's cool. Like, he's got his Google is attached to his Google Home is attached to his drum live recording setup. So he'll walk downstairs. I'll go, Google, set my studio up for recording mode, and all the lights will turn on, all the mics and everything will get set up and everything, all from his Google Home. I'm like, this is fucking sick.
That's gnarly.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a nice setup.
But we're still very much, discovering the local scene.
Yeah,
like Zen just moved to the city this year. I just moved 2 years ago. Brandon still lives outside of the city, so we've only got so much exposure to the local scene. But yeah, I've seen some great bands. We love Valley Narrow, by the way.
Oh,
yeah. but yeah, like I love to go out and support the local bands at the Tap House. Tap House is one of my favorite spots in the city.
Mm-hmm. I'm interested what it's going to be. I haven't been there in the winter, so one thing
It's
that really
loud.
I was going to say one thing that stands out of the Tap House is the doors opening and you kind of go out.
Yeah,
You sit there, see a band comes off. Sometimes it's nice to head out onto the onto the outside there. But it'd be interesting when it's cold, and of course we're playing there in the dead of February, so I guess I'll find out all about it.
Yeah, sound bounces around in there pretty good when those shutters are closed.
Yeah, I'd say.
Pretty loud.
I'd say. Actually, that's kind of leads me to another question I was going to ask you guys. You have doesn't have to be in Winnipeg, anywhere dream venue to play?
Red Rocks. Hands
Cool.
down.
Red Rocks, yeah, Red Rocks is pretty
I would
nice.
say MSG, but I'm so down for Red Rocks. Absolutely.
The Sphere, the Sphere.
Yeah, the Sphere's wild, man. But yeah, don't even have to think about it. I think dream venue of all time has to be Red Rocks.
I didn't even think of that.
I think it's the coolest place a musician could play, hands down.
No, I absolutely agree.
Yourself, Brandon?
I don't really have one that comes to mind. I haven't, really thought about something like that, where I could possibly play like anywhere in the world. Yeah, I don't know. I honestly have no idea.
I do want to say one local place that we would absolutely love to play. If anyone can help us get there, is we want to play the Park Theater.
Oh yeah.
Can't wait for the day. I love going there. I go there as often as I can. I have seen the Northern Royals there and Exo Merida there. I think probably like a combined 6 or 8 times now already. But it's just a great venue. I think what they do for the Winnipeg music scene is awesome. They have they have the Park Theater there, and now they have Side Stage as well.
Side Stage is sick. I went. I saw a band called Norma Jean there about a week ago, and that's I like it because it's kind of got the similar setup to the King's Head, just a straight long setup, and it's loud in there, and I like it when things are just like there's just so much. I guess you could say bass heavy to when it comes to a any kind of venue. Whenever I can really feel it in my chest, that's when it's like, oh yeah, this is a nice place.
Oh, this is good to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right though. The Park Theater, I can't say enough good things about that place. And anytime I've been there, and I'm dating myself back to when you guys were in friggin' elementary school, probably. but I've seen some pretty wild shows with Park Theater. I saw I can't remember his name. His dad was really famous, but anyway, he came through as an opening act, and they ended up giving him the headlining spot for some heroics in a winter storm where he bailed out the headlining band and took a walk to a gas station in the middle of a storm between here and Minneapolis. So they gave him the headline spot, and the power went out, and this guy played acoustic on the stage with a girl with her violin, and you could hear him in the first 5 rows, and that was about it. But it was just such a cool thing. It's probably one of my highlights of seeing a live show.
Yeah.
Just seeing someone just go for it. They had nothing there, and they just went for it, right? And
Absolutely.
And then even seeing the Loud Awards there a couple months ago, walking in and the walls blowing out on it now, and where the bar is, and just everything was so good, right?
Yeah.
They did such a great job. And obviously, you mentioned Side Stage, you were there. Super cool. I'm really excited to go there. But yeah, I think it's Corey Thomas.
Yes, correct.
He's doing such a great job with everything there.
Yeah, I know Alex knows him a little bit, but more than playing there, I just want to mention what they're doing for the music scene in Winnipeg, and just for the music scene in general is great. They bring in lots of great medium-sized acts that are coming through, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're not playing the arena and you're not playing the Burt, then you're probably going to the Park Theater, right? So it's a great size venue. Really hope that we can get there one day.
Awesome. Well, it looks like Ruth Morris is interested in putting them together. Apparently,
I
there,
see
so-
that. Thank you, Ruth.
Yeah, she got us side stage. She's
Oh, that's amazing.
We got a couple announcements coming up. Actually, Eric, you're part of one with Pure Entry at Bulldog, and
That is correct.
yeah, sorry to take it away from Ledwin for a second, but Pure
No,
Entry, you guys added a new member.
Yes,
Um,
Mike Sodoma.
Super cool, super
Mike.
cool.
Mike is a great guy, and he's a phenomenal guitar player.
Yeah, I know Mike from a previous life, and I saw him a month ago at Tap House. I don't think he'd recognize me, but I knew him years back. But anyway,
I'll tell him you say hi.
I'm so excited for to be part of you guys. You guys are such good guys. The rest of you Ledwin guys, awesome too. Really enjoyed our night playing in front of 5 people at the Royal Albert with you guys.
Nothing better than bands playing for bands.
Yeah, you know what? It was just a fun night. You guys killed it.
Yeah,
You're
I
such a
appreciate
good
it.
live band.
Thank you so much.
Obviously, wish nothing but the best for you. What's your 5-year plan? What's the 5-year plan for you guys? Here's your job interview question.
Man, I don't even know like what I'm doing next week. That's a high pressure question.
Rock on the Range.
Oh, Ohio.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope that'd be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think our main focus right now is getting that EP out, right, and seeing where we go from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, getting the EP out and then playing as much as we can, being able to transition to like all originals. Still doing the cover thing on the side, whether under a different name, still under Ledwin, whatever. But yeah, I think we really want to like just really set apart and be an original band, and then tour one day, hopefully. Like I think that's the goal, every band. So yeah, that'd be awesome.
If we can pay our bills from playing music and just like hitting the road, like that's the dream, right?
I have to, man. Yeah.
Even if you're not rich, if you're just making enough money to get by while you're playing music, that's you've absolutely made it, right? So if we can play some shows and make enough cash to fund like say a little self done tour or something, then that would be like the dream in the next 5 years. But not looking that far ahead yet. Like I said, we're focused on the EP and getting our music out and hopefully getting some good reception from that. I personally am so excited for these songs. I think you're going to absolutely love them, Joel. I think you've probably heard most of them at the shows that you've seen us play.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's looking like it's going to be a 5-song EP.
Awesome.
And just these songs are great. There's not a bad song on the EP, I can promise you that. But that's where our focus lies right now.
That's great. That's great. Very happy for you guys. You're like I said, you're such a good band, and you're still so young. You got a lot of years ahead of you with music, and you'll probably see that change where you're playing what you're playing now, and you'll release your EP, and your second one might sound a little different, but it's only growing, right? But yeah, from what I've heard of the originals, you guys, I'm looking forward to it.
I appreciate it. You mentioned our tastes in music, and like what shaped our or what influenced us, and I think because we have such a wide range of influences here, I think that's what really shapes our sound. I've had a whole conversation with Dale about this, about the unique sound that we are continuously working on, and it absolutely comes from from those influences that are heavy metal to classic rock, right? So I think that's our strongest asset for sure.
Awesome. Well, we should probably wrap it up here, but why don't you give us your final words? What do you got for your fans out there?
Come to the Viking. Come to King's Head. Free download the EP once we got that ready. Love you all.
Yeah, thank you everybody for supporting. I know everybody says this, but it truly means the world when you folks come out to our shows. even if it's bands playing for bands, we still appreciate the other band showing up, right?
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so stay tuned for some exciting things coming. EP coming, maybe some merch coming pretty soon.
Cool.
So we're working on a few things. We're keeping busy.
You got a cool logo for some merch. It'll look really good. So
yeah, thanks. And I think we're going to get a couple of things that are going to look even better. So
awesome.
we're working on that right now.
Awesome. All right, gentlemen, we have a good night. I'm glad glad we did this. And I'll be honest with you, Eric messaged me last week, and I actually almost forgot that I had you guys going on here. that was a conversation at the tap house, I think.
It was.
So,
yeah.
Now just keep doing what you're doing, guys. You guys are killing it.
Thank
I'm
you.
looking forward to the next show of yours. I'm looking forward to an EP to come out. And see you guys around the place too. It's awesome.
All right. We'll see you soon, Joel. Thanks.